Hello students, today we are going to see a new lesson which is motion of system of particles and the rigid bodies, and this is going to be the session number 1. Today we are going to see the center of mass of a rigid body, center of mass for distributed point masses, then center of mass of 2-point masses, center of mass for uniform distribution of masses. Let's see. Dear students, we have studied the motion of bodies without considering the size and shape so far. Now we have treated even the bulk bodies as only point objects. In this section we will give importance to the size and shape of the bodies. These bodies are actually made up of a large number of particles. When such a body moves, we consider it as the motion of collection of particles as a whole. See, we define this concept center of mass to deal with such a system of particles. That means the collection of the particles will have a center of mass in between them. Now the internal forces are the forces acting among the particles within a system, and they constitute as a body. That means if you see, there are a number of small tiny particles are there. If you take a thermocol sheet, altogether collectively this number of particles like shapes, particle shapes like things collectively known as a thermocol sheets. Now the external forces, that means apart from the body, the external forces are the forces acting on the particles of a system from the outside. So a rigid body, then what do you mean by a rigid body? A rigid body is one which maintains its definite and fixed shape even when an external force acts on it. In this picture you can see, even when an external force acts on it, that rigid body maintains its definite and fixed shape. Now let's see, what do you mean by center of mass? When a rigid body moves, particles that constitute the body need not to take the same path. For example, when a wheel rolls on a surface, the path of the center of the wheel and the path of the other points of the wheel are different. In this unit, we study about the translation, rotation, and the combination of these motions of the rigid body in detail. Altogether, we can define the center of mass. That is, the center of mass of a body is defined as a point where the entire mass of the body appears to be concentrated. Okay, if you run or walk or stand, your center of mass of the body will be in the middle between two of your feet. Okay, it will be middle between your two feet. Now center of mass of a rigid body. What is the center of mass of a rigid body? When a bulk object, let us imagine it as a bat. Okay, when a bulk object is thrown at an angle in the air as shown in this figure, Do all the points of the body take a parabolic path? See, the bat has a different structure in different position. You can see it travels in a parabolic path. Actually, only one point take the parabolic path, this path. This point take the parabolic path, and all the other points take different paths. The one point that takes the parabolic path is a very special point which is called as center of mass. In short, we denotify the center of mass as Cm. Its motion is like the motion of a single point that is thrown. And for bodies of regular shape and uniform mass distribution, the center of mass is at the geometric center of the body. See, let's take an example. For a circle and a sphere, the center of mass is at their centers, and for square and rectangle shapes, at the point their diagonals meet is the center of mass of that square and rectangles. And for cube and cuboid, it is at the point where their body diagonals meet. And for other bodies, the center of mass has to be determined using some methods. The center of mass could be well within the body, and in some cases outside the body as well. Let's see about that. Now, center of mass for distributed point masses. A point mass is a hypothetical point particle which has non-zero mass and no size or no shape. To find the center of mass for a collection of n number of point masses, that means if you see n number of particles, they have collectively known as a mass, we are going to find the center of mass for the collectively known mass. Let's say m1, m2, m3 to mn, that means n number of particles with n number of masses. We have to first choose an origin and an appropriate coordinate system, which is shown in the figure. See, in this figure, this is the origin and these are the masses which are collectively called as a mass. Here, every mass have its own axis, right? M4, M3, M2, M1, and X, Cm and YCm and ZCm are the axis for this masses, and the distance between the masses are RCm. Let x1, x2, x3 dash 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 xn be the x coordinates of the position of these point masses in the x direction from this origin. The equation for the x coordinate of the center of mass is xcm is equal to summation mi xi. Here mi is meant for number of masses and xi is for number of x coordinates, and divide by summation of mi. Here this summation mi is the total mass m of all particles, and summation mi is equal to m. Hence, if you substitute that value, xcm is equal to summation mi xi divided by capital M. Then similarly, we can also find y and z coordinates of the center of masses for these distributed point masses. That is, ycm is equal to summation mi yi divided by capital M, and hence the position of center of mass of these point masses in a Cartesian coordinate system xcm, ycm and zcm is where r vector cm is equal to xcm I cap plus ycm j cap plus zcm k cap, which is the position vector of the center of mass, and r vector I is equal to xi I cap plus yi j cap plus zi k cap is the position vector of the distributed point masses. Here I, j and k are the unit vectors along xy axis respectively. This is the center of mass for the distributed point masses. Now we are going to see the center of mass of 2 point masses. Okay, with the equation of center of mass which we derived in the before slide, let us find the center of mass of 2 point masses m1 and m2. We are not going to take till mn, only m1 and m2, which are the positions of xi and x2 respectively on x-axis. We can express the point position of center of mass in the following 3 ways. This is based on the choice of the coordinates. See, you can see in the y, and this is the x coordinate, and this is the position of mi and m2, and this is the center of mass between of that mi and m2. Mi as a distance xi from the origin, and the m2 as the distance x2 from the origin, and the cm, that means the xcm, have the distance xcm from origin to center of mass when the masses are on positive x-axis. Okay, this is because they are in a positive x-axis. First of all, when the masses are on positive z axis, the origin is taken as arbitrarily, so that the mass m1 and m2 are at positions x1 and x2, right? And the positive x-axis as shown in the figure A, the center of mass will also be on positive x-axis at xcm as given by the equation. So xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by the masses m1 and the mass m2. Now, second, when an origin coincides with any one of the masses, let's see the picture. See, the origin, okay, coincides with the mass. That means the mass m1 is at the origin, right? Now the distance between the second mass is x2 and the center of mass is xcm. Now let's see what is the equation. The calculation could be minimized if the origin of the coordinate system is made to coincide with any one of the masses. Here the mass m1 coincides with the origin O. when the origin coincides with the point mass m1, its position x1 is 0. So we put the equation further simplified as xcm is equal to m1, here x1 is 0, so we put 0 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 and m2. Altogether m1 into 0 is 0, so we get only m2 and x2 divided by m1 plus m2. This is the value when the origin coincides with any one of the masses. Third one, when the origin coincides with the center of mass itself. See, if the origin of the coordinate system is made to coincide with the center of mass, then xcm is equal to 0. Like this, xcm is equal to 0. That means this one of the mass, here we take m1 in a minus x and m2 in plus x. That means one is in negative and another one is in positive. And the mass m1 is found to be on a negative x-axis, which is shown in the figure. Hence, its position x1 is negative. So, minus x1 we put in the equation as here xcm is equal to 0. So, m1 minus x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. That means m1 minus x1 plus m2 x2, or m1 x1 is equal to m2, m1 x1 is equal to m2 x2. So the equation m1 x1 is equal to m2 x2 given above is known as the principle of moments. Now let's see the center of mass of uniform distribution of masses. Here, if the mass is uniformly distributed in a bulk object, then a small mass del m, that means collection of mass of the body, can be treated as a point mass, and the summations can be done to obtain the expression for the coordinates of center of mass. If the mass is uniformly distributed, okay, so you can get xcm is equal to summation del mi xi divided by del mi, and in y coordinate ycm is equal to summation del mi yi divided by summation del mi, and in z coordinate summation del mi zi divided by summation del mi. On the other hand, if the small mass taken is infinitesimally small, okay, this comparably it's very small, then the summation can be replaced by an integration, and it is given below as xcm is equal to integral x dm divided by integral dm, ycm is equal to integral y dm divided by integral dm, and zcm is equal to integral z dm divided by dm, integral dm. This is the center of mass for uniform distribution of mass. Now, motion of center of masses. See, When a rigid body, I already explained you about the rigid body, that means a body which maintains its definite and fixed shape even when an external force acts on it. This is the rigid body, and when a rigid body moves, its center of mass will also move along the body. For kinematic equations like velocity Vcm and the acceleration Acm of the center of mass, we can differentiate the expression for position of center of mass with respect to time once and twice respectively. For simply to understand, let us take the motion along x direction only. I am not confusing you. Let's take the direction only in x direction axis. Bcm is equal to velocity of the center of mass of that rigid body is equal to dxcm by dt. Already we know the dxcm from the last equation, that is summation mi dxi divided by dt divided by summation mi, or we can put Vcm vector is equal to summation mi vi. Instead of this dxi dt, already you know displacement by time is equal to velocity. That's why here the displacement is in x direction. So we substitute vi instead of dxi by dt. Summation mi, let's take this as equation number 1. And Acm, that means acceleration of center of mass, is equal to d by dt dxcm by dt. That means velocity by time. And here we take the derivative of velocity and derivative of time. Therefore, dvcm by dt. Already we know summation mi vi by summation mi is the value of vcm. So we substitute here summation mi into dvi by dt. Okay, by summation mi. This we put here, but we differentiate this value. That means derivation of velocity divided by derivation of time is equal to acceleration. Altogether, Acm is equal to acceleration of center of mass is equal to summation mi ai divided by summation mi. Now, in the absence of external force, that means the F external is equal to 0, the individual rigid body of a system can move or shift only due to the internal forces. Already I told about the internal and external forces in a rigid body. The Vcm will be 0 when the center of mass is at rest and constant. When center of mass is a uniform motion, that means Vcm is equal to 0 or Vcm is equal to constant. There will be no acceleration of center of mass. That means Acm is equal to 0. If the velocity is 0, then the acceleration is also 0. Therefore, from equation 1 and 2, we get Acm, we put Acm is equal to 0. Therefore, summation mi vi divided by mi is equal or constant. Vcm is equal to summation mi vi divided by summation mi, and Acm is equal to 0. In the presence of external force, that is F external force is equal to 0, the center of mass of a system will accelerate as given by the following equation. That means F external is equal to summation mi ACM, or F external is equal to MACM. We put, instead of this we put capital M. Or if you want to get the ACM, acceleration of center of mass, we take the M down and ACM is equal to F external divided by mass. Thank you students. Thank you for your patience.